because I've one play that I've done twice is Intimate Apparel, where he played Ja Jamstrom. I've heard so many people say, "Oh, he's just a bad man." In that play, both people, the man and wife, Esther Mills and George, they lie to each other.
But nobody ever sees her wrong.
Exactly.
They only see his wrong.
Right. Well, he's a man broken down, a man who's able to build, to create, and he can't.
He can't.
So he's broken. Right?
But nobody ever sees that. I mean, not that nobody ever sees that, but that hopefully the job of that actor is to bring that to light, make him a sympathetic character, even though
at the end of the day, he does screw over Esther Mills, but he doesn't want to screw her over. But it just gets to the point where he screws her over so bad.
He doesn't know how to do it. Or he can't
come back.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And it's just like trying to build in those complexities where you actually hear the villains.
Yeah.
You hear the villains'
you
voice.
hear them, you know them, you can see how you yourself as the audience member might actually
connect to them.
Yes.
Right?
Become them in the wrong circumstances.
And that's the thing about humanity, though,
yeah.
right? You know, the things that we're all capable of is we are capable of some terrible things as we look in the world and see what's happening everywhere.
Every day. Everywhere.
And that's the one thing I really enjoy about acting. It's, at the end of the day, we're exploring humanity.
Yeah.
In many different fronts, in many different ways. And like my mom always says, why can't you do more plays like Pride and Prejudice? It's like, well, Mom, that's great, but our world is a little bit more complicated than Pride and Prejudice. Not discrediting what Pride and Prejudice is, but I just know that our world is a little bit more complicated and needs a little bit more than what, for me, than what Pride and Prejudice has to offer. That makes sense.
What are the challenges of being an ethnic actor here in Canada? Are there challenges? Do you feel the challenges?
Yes. My struggle from after graduating from theater school was taking notice of when people were putting me inside of a box and limiting me to what they thought I could do, not knowing what I could do. So one thing, when I would notice that people or different companies were thinking, yeah, why don't you just, here's a good offer for you, this is, you can do it, so you can go ahead and do it. So when I started to realize that, then I moved up.
Meaning, if your, let's say, agents or directors came to you and said things like, well, here's the thug, we know you can do it.
Yeah.
You were like, thank you very much for that offer, but
yeah,
I don't want to continuously perpetuate that stereotype of me or black men.
Well, the one thing that I'm super aware of is just hiring for color as opposed to, or just coloring your stage with color as opposed to actually letting some of those minorities play some of the parts is different.
Yes.
Than, like, it's like I've had an interesting journey with the Shaw Festival leading up to here, and like I've told people, like, when I graduated from theater school in 2004, I didn't think I could work here.
Right.
Based on who was on the artist board, and I know how these companies work. I know how Stratford works. I know why they have a star system. I know there's people that the audiences love and enjoy, and it's the same here. So I realize it's not necessarily an easy thing to just flip everything like that. So for myself, I just tried to hustle as hard as I could to show people what I could do. And I it's not easy. It's a struggle all the time, and it's a constant battle. But I think like this year at the Shaw Festival is really interesting because I feel like we have a lot of diversity that isn't just coloring the stage.
I think from what I've deciphered, which is highly ridiculous, I think maybe I would go so far as to say 1/3 of the company has an ethnic background this year, which is leaps and bounds from Shaw Festival in years past. And I respect all of the artistic directors beforehand, and I understand, as you say, how a festival works or how theater companies work, and they don't just can't arbitrarily make decisions. They have to speak to a lot of people to get to what they want to do, and I applaud both Jackie Maxwell, who I was my artistic director before, and TC Tim Carroll, for having their different visions and achieving what they achieved in her 14 years and in his 1 year. I feel privileged to have been a part of both of their time here. But it is a feat in and of itself, and everybody's talking about it. That it's 1/3 of the company, I think at least, that it is ethnically diverse. Can't say the word. Ethnically diverse. To hear more from the charming Andre Sills, tune in next time on the Blacktor Studio. So, I don't know. I didn't want to put on my real outfit, so I'm wearing my onesie underneath. Whatever, study doing. That's not a onesie.
That's not a onesie.
That's just you.
That's me, apparently. I don't have time to work out. I got kids. What does the gym look like? What does the gym look like? Weights? Huh? Exercise?
There's this thing, it's called a treadmill, and it's just basically you walking. You could do that outside.
I know. I try and get outside, and I ride a bike to work.
The 3 minutes takes to get here?
But
I'm not judging.
I know.
Because trust and believe.
But that's my exercise.
Single tier, sad face.
Lifting a baby.
Your arms must be jacked! I like that you lift the baby like this.
They're okay.
They can't see nothing for your jacket.
Whatever.